I worked 15 years as a doctor, saved every penny, and bought a $180,000 apartment for my mother to have dignity in her old age. I put her name on the deed because I trusted her. A year later, I discovered by accident that she had sold everything for $195,000 without telling me, without asking me, without giving me back a single cent. When I confronted her, she laughed in my face and said, "The apartment was in my name. I do whatever I want. You gave it to me as a gift. It wasn't a loan." And you know what she did with the money? She spent everything on trips to Dubai, Paris, and the Maldives with her club friends. She posted photos in expensive restaurants while I was in debt because of the financing I'm still paying. But she didn't know I had kept one document, and that paper completely destroyed her plans. My mother was always complicated. I grew up hearing that I would never be anything, that medicine was too difficult for me, that I should find a rich husband instead of studying. I proved her wrong in everything. I graduated with honors, opened my own practice, married Fernando, a wonderful man I met in college. But even with all my success, my mother always found a way to diminish me. When I bought my first house, "It's small, isn't it? Julia's mom's house is much bigger." When I won a medical award, "That's nice, but doctors make good money anyway. It's not that special." My sister Patricia was always transparent. "Marina, Mom is toxic. She's using you." But I, like an idiot, thought it was an exaggeration. I thought, she's my mother. She loves me in her own way. 2 years ago, my mother called me crying. She was being evicted from her rental. "Marina, I'm going to be homeless. Your mother, on the street. Are you going to let this happen?" Fernando warned me, "Honey, she has a good pension. Where's the money?" But guilt consumed me. I decided to buy an apartment for her. It wasn't big, 2 bedrooms, 600 square feet, but it was decent. I put down $75,000 of my savings as a down payment and financed the rest over 10 years. Total, $180,000. I put it in her name because she was my mother. I thought that way she would have security, self-esteem, dignity. When I handed over the keys, she didn't even hug me. She just said, "Finally, it's about time you did something for me after everything I did for you." That hurt, but I swallowed it. I always swallowed it. The first few months were strange. My mother barely called me. When I visited, she was always busy or had company. I saw on social media that she constantly had her club friends over, that little group of shallow women who only talked about designer bags and trips to Dubai. Fernando noticed before I did. "Honey, your mom seems really happy. She posted a photo from a dinner that cost $250 per person." I defended her. She deserves to have some fun. 6 months after getting the apartment, I started noticing changes. My mother posted photos in super expensive restaurants, wore designer clothes, bought a $6,000 Louis Vuitton bag. When I asked, she said, "Savings, dear. You're not the only one who knows how to save money." One day, Patricia called me in panic. "Marina, did you see Mom's Instagram? She's in Dubai." I rushed to my phone. There it was. My mother at the Burj Al Arab, a 7-star hotel with her friends. Caption, "Living my best years." I called her, furious. "Mom, how are you in Dubai? That costs a fortune." She, calmly, "Relax, Marina. It's a group trip. It was cheap." Lie. I knew it was a lie. 2 weeks later, Paris. A month later, the Maldives. Each trip at least $15,000. I started having insomnia. Something was very wrong. Fernando suggested, "Let's visit the apartment you gave her." Great idea. We arrived there on a Saturday afternoon. I rang the doorbell. Nothing. I called. She didn't answer. I asked the doorman to open it. After all, my name was still listed as emergency contact. When we entered, the apartment was empty. Completely empty. No furniture. Nothing. Just the white walls echoing our footsteps. I felt my legs weaken. Fernando held me. "She sold it," I whispered. "My mother sold the apartment." I ran to the lobby. "Mr. Antonio, what happened to Mrs. Regina?" The doorman, embarrassed. "Dr. Marina, she moved out 3 months ago. She said she had sold it and was going to live with a friend." 3 months. She had sold it 3 months ago and never told me.
I called her 20 times. Nothing. Finally, she answered, laughing. "Marina, I'm at this spa with the girls. Everything okay?" "Mom, did you sell the apartment?" Silence. Then, with a voice I had never heard, cold, calculating, "I did. So what?" "What do you mean, so what? I paid for that apartment for you." "And you put it in my name, dear. It was a gift. Gifts aren't loans. I can do whatever I want with what's mine." My head was spinning. "How much did you sell it for?" $195,000. Good deal, right? The market was hot. "And the money? Did you at least save it? Invest it?" Laughter. A dry, cruel laugh. "Saved it? Marina, I'm 62 years old. I spent my whole life sacrificing myself, raising you two. Now it's my time. I spent it on myself. I traveled, bought clothes, enjoyed life, and I don't owe anyone an explanation." "You spent everything?" "Mom, that was $195,000. And it was my $195,000. "Oh, relax, Marina. You're rich. You'll buy me another apartment if you want." I hung up, trembling. Fernando hugged me while I broke down. She used me, manipulated me, robbed me. Patricia came that night. She revealed everything she had kept for years. "Marina, wake up. Mom has always been jealous of you, since childhood. You were smart, beautiful, successful, everything she wasn't. She sabotages you because she can't stand that you're better than her." In the following days, I discovered more. I talked to neighbors from the old building. My mother always had money. The eviction story was a lie. She had savings but wanted a bigger, better apartment. She manipulated me. One of her friends, feeling remorseful, told me everything. "Marina, your mother planned this. From the beginning. She knew she was going to sell it. She told her friends, 'I'm going to make my sucker daughter give me an apartment, sell it, and travel the world.' I was horrified, but she's your mother. I thought you knew." I didn't sleep for 3 days, lost 10 pounds. My patients noticed. Fernando was worried. I was destroyed, not because of the money, but because of the betrayal, the coldness, the premeditation. That's when Fernando suggested, "Honey, let's see a lawyer. She can't do this." I protested. The apartment was in her name. He insisted. "But there was an intention. You have proof of transfers, messages. Let's try." Marcelo, the lawyer, heard everything. Then he asked, "Marina, do you have any documents about this apartment? Anything?" I remembered. I have an email. When I closed the purchase, I sent her an email explaining everything. She replied saying it was temporary, that I was lending it to her until she got stable, and promised to return it when she could. Marcelo's eyes lit up. That changes everything. She acknowledged it was a loan, not a gift. We have a case. Lawsuit filed. Loan proven. My mother was served and for the first time, panicked. She called me. "Marina, are you going to sue me? Your own mother? You're ungrateful." I didn't answer. I blocked her. The judge was clear. The email proved it wasn't a gift. It was a temporary assignment. My mother had to return the $195,000 immediately or have her assets seized. She didn't have the money. She had spent everything. Trips, clothes, restaurants, gifts for friends. 0 savings. The court garnished her pension, 30% blocked for 5 years, seized the jewelry, designer bags, even the car she had recently bought. Total recovered so far, $92,000. The rest will come in the coming years. But the best part? The friends disappeared. When they found out she was broke, that the trips were over, that she didn't have money anymore to pay for expensive dinners, they vanished. All of them. My mother had to rent a studio apartment for $400, alone, without luxury, without trips, just harsh reality. She tried to call me, sent messages. Marina, forgive me. I made a mistake. I'm alone. Blocked. Patricia also cut contact. I don't want a mother who uses her daughters. 6 months later, I ran into my mother at the grocery store. She looked aged, sad, alone. She looked at me with something like regret. I could have felt sorry, could have given in, but I remembered the cold laugh when she said it was my $195,000. I remembered the coldness, the manipulation, the premeditated betrayal. I walked right past her. Fernando asked me later, "Do you feel bad?" I answered, "No, I feel free." Today, I use the recovered money for a savings account that nobody touches. Fernando and I are planning a trip, this time our trip, and I learned the most important lesson. Family isn't who uses you. Family isn't who manipulates you. Family is who respects you, values you, loves you for real. My mother had everything and chose selfishness. Now she has what she deserves, the loneliness she planted herself. And me, I have peace. Finally.